next thing that we want to bring forward is what's happening at Great Bay Hotel, where while we're in discussion with the new owners, Planet Hollywood, Sunwin, those are entities that after Hurricane Irma, we learned that they were the new owners of the former Great Bay Beach Hotel Resort and Casino. And in what I would call a situation where government also, prior to the training, when Mr. Richard Gibson was Minister of Finance, he initiated support for the Maho group of companies with a training program without involving the union, WIFL, that represent those workers. The company then stopped the workers' salary, which was against our collective labor agreement, Article 12, where it says that the employee should maintain their normal wage if they are asked to attend any training by the employer. So that is an ongoing discussion and most likely will end up in court because the employees is entitled to their right and correct salaries. When Mr. Keith Graham was managing director at the company then, and his boss, Mr. Saros Padaro, they were the one who encouraged employees' salaries to be cut. And we are going to take the appropriate action to make sure that the employees' rights are being redeemed and rectified. I also want to bring to your attention about the towers at Muller Bay, whereby the towers at Muller Bay sent home employees and stopped paying their salaries. Now, they are a different situation because they did not receive the support from government or the SZV, and so they decided to cut the employees' salary while the employees were receiving their full salary up until this introduction by the minister came on board. So that's a challenge that we have to make sure take on because we never accepted or never agreed for workers to receive any cut in their salaries because these companies, they have the financial ability to pay salaries. I mean, we have had many incidents and we keep repeating this, but it is important that people don't forget and remember that while during good times, the workers went the extra mile to make sure that these companies reap enormous profits. And they are living their lives in luxury, while the employees are now living in misery. It's important to note that there are challenges for workers in different forms, different ways, and we have accepted those challenges and we will challenge them through our legal system. So far, we have had many jurisprudences that supported the workers' claim to their rights, and as we keep saying over and over again, that besides workers' rights, which the ILO, the International Labour Organization, has sanctioned, we also have those rights ratified and signed off by our kingdom government. Therefore, we have to make a stand, and we are making our reports to those international bodies of the violation of human rights and workers' rights. Today, I have with me one of the sharp stewards, champion for workers' rights, for her colleagues' rights from Great Bay Beach Resort, upcoming Planet Hollywood for St. Martin.
Hi, good morning. My name is Ruth Kanagita. I'm a worker, a sharpshooter from Great Bay. Since after of Hurricane Irma, we've been in difficulties. They cut our salaries. They didn't pay us no kind of salary. Then they put us on a stipend, which is not a salary. And up to now, we are still suffering. And I mean, Christmas coming, we ain't got nothing. I want to know how do they sleep? How do they sleep? We ain't working, we ain't got no money. Come on, our fridge empty, house rent to pay, GB to pay. We can't tell GB wait. GB can't, if we go to GB and we tell GB we don't have no money, can't tell them wait because they will cut our light. And the people that have house rent to pay, they will definitely throw them out. And we don't have any food in our fridge. I mean, come on. We need our salary and we need money for Christmas. We can't live like this no longer. Enough is enough. That's all I have to say right now.
I would like to add my statements to those of all the ministers before me in relation to the COVID numbers, the increasing rate of the COVID numbers, and the upcoming holiday season. With the recent trend that we have been noticing in COVID-19 active cases and the steady increase, even while we've had also lots of recoveries, it is important for us to recognize that the public's behavior plays a big role in the spread of this virus. As I've said in previous press briefings, press statements, and the like, we have been here before and we know exactly now what we have to do to stop the spread. It is up to all of us within the community, citizens, business owners, organizers of events, and government, whether the results are a further increase or a diminished spread of the virus. So it is up to us, whether it stops, whether it progresses, or whether it at least stays on a level that is manageable. As such, our residents and visitors must all do their part to curb the spread of COVID-19 on St. Martin. This cannot be repeated enough. We must maintain a proper social distance of 2 meters as much as possible. And especially when that cannot be the case, it must be coupled with proper mask usage. And frequent hand washing or hand sanitizing should be practiced at all times, not only when out in public, but also within our own homes to protect the ones we love. Social gatherings should remain at a minimum in terms of the number of persons gathering together for the safety of our population. These practices can help limit the spread of the disease and is proven to do so. And most importantly, protect our most vulnerable, those loved ones with underlying conditions, and the elderly. This is a sincere plea to the general public to remain vigilant and not become complacent as we celebrate Christmas. Do avoid mass gatherings. All persons needing or planning events must go through the regular permitting process, and all facilities that are equipped to host gatherings must ensure that the guidelines which have been published are upheld at all times or risk having that event shut down. We really would not want for you to have to lose out on an investment, so we do ask that you follow the proper procedures and ensure that your facility, your venue, your event is sanctioned by this government. Continue to wear your mask, as I mentioned before. That has helped tremendously over the past few months to keep our numbers manageable. Wash hands frequently. And of course, when we mention mask, DCOM has put out several proper mask usage information bulletins. Do go back and refresh your memory to ensure that we have not become lax. Christmas is coming, yes, and there are some festivities that government will allow, but also we will be ensuring that the necessary enforcement takes place. The guidelines that were printed, as Minister of Tiat mentioned, published and is online, is there to protect us. We do not, I mentioned this again, we do not want to go back to the days of a lockdown. As we're seeing that around the world, lots of major countries are going in that direction, and this can already negatively impact our economy because those are the visitors we are relying on to come to our country. We must therefore protect what little economic development we are able to carry out now. It is up to you, business owners. It is up to you, persons who will frequent these businesses, and it is up to all of us to remember that you do have to go home to the ones you love. Be safe at all times and ensure that we're doing everything to stay at manageable levels. Also, to update the people of St. Martin, on Monday, December 14, 2020, in my capacity as Minister of General Affairs, I attended a Central Committee meeting to update the Parliament of St. Martin on the outcome of the negotiations with the Ministry of Interior Relations and Kingdom Relations, BZK, surrounding the third tranche of liquidity support, as well as to gain the necessary support needed to be able to proceed further with the discussions, which would hopefully lead to an agreement. As was stated in Parliament, St. Martin's negotiation team has been in discussions with BZK in order to come to agreements on a third tranche of liquidity support over the past 6 years.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Let us first look at what is a negotiation. According to the Wikipedia, negotiation is a dialogue between two or more people or parties. And the intention is to reach a beneficial outcome over one or more issues where a conflict exists with respect to at least one of these issues. Negotiation is an interaction, a process between entities who compromise to agree on matters of mutual interest while optimizing their individual utilities. And this beneficial outcome can be for all of the parties involved or just for one or for some of them. It is aimed to resolve points of difference and to gain advantage for an individual or a collective, or to craft outcomes to satisfy various interests. It is often conducted by putting forward a position and making concessions to achieve an agreement. So far, the Wikipedia Encyclopedia. So, the first question that we asked, was there a negotiation between St. Martin Council of Ministers and the Dutch Ministry of Interior Affairs and Kingdom Relations, BZK? Was there a dialogue between the two parties? A dialogue intends to reach a beneficial outcome over one or more issues where a conflict exists with respect to at least one of these issues. So let us assume that there was a dialogue between the St. Martin negotiating team and the BZK negotiating team. The conflict between St. Martin and the Netherlands is on what? On the issue of finances for the COVID-19 pandemic effects. And that the effects on the country budget of St. Martin. And on the conditions imposed by the Netherlands to provide liquidity support to St. Martin. So, what was negotiated? Not a financial plan to reduce the risk of disasters such as hurricanes, earthquakes, or pandemics. Not the financial cooperation needed to implement St. Martin's national development vision, and not the financial needs to realize the governing program of the UP National Alliance coalition. But what was negotiated was the Dutch proposal of the Caribbean Reform Entity as presented on July the 10th, with amendments made to call it now the Caribbean Reform and Development Organ, the COHO. At the start of the so-called negotiations for the third tranche of liquidity support, in a press release of government, we read and we quote, "These negotiations would be aimed at the arrival to consensus on the conditions for the much-needed third tranche of liquidity support. And it is important that St. Martin is giving enough negotiation room, just as the other Caribbean countries have, in order to develop a package that could be brought to Parliament." That's what Prime Minister Jacobs expressed during the first meeting that he had with the delegation of BZK.
Today I wish to update you on the following points. Firstly, as we near the holidays, I would like to inform the general public that immediate compliance is expected for the removal of containers, abandoned or stationary vehicles, and all objects from the ring road. The storage, placement, or dumping of any objects on government property without permission is prohibited. All vehicles, containers, and objects must be removed within the next days. Within 10 days from today. Non-compliance of the property use will result in measures being taken at the owner's expense. In reference to recent works being carried out on 80 Road in Dutch Quarter last week, it has been noted that after thorough inspection that due to illegal connections onto the incomplete sewage system caused the constant overflow of sewage water coming from the pits and settling in the lowest point on the road. Immediate actions were taken by the Department of New Projects and the contractor due to the unsanitary environment that this issue has caused. The works were carried out on December 10th of this year and were completed on the 11th. The works temporarily interrupted the flow of the traffic on 80 Road for one day, which the road was closed with an effective detour route. In efforts to repair and stop the constant flow of raw sewage water onto the public road, the 5 sewage inspection pits were pumped in order to repair the sewage pit on the road that was excavated, which has been repaved in the meantime. I commend the staff of the Department of New Projects, Infrastructure Management, and also the contractors for a job well done. And I would like to wish the residents of Dutch Quarter very well with respect to the issue finally being resolved and addressed. On Monday, December 14, 2020, I visited the Lebe project site on WG Boncampo Road opposite the Vineyard Building, along with the head of infrastructure management and representatives of the contractor and their support and my support staff. This project was initiated to address the limited embarking and disembarking terminals for safe transport of tourists for the tour buses between the cruise ship terminal and the Walter J. Nisbet Road. Numerous agencies expressed their concern, which fostered the collaborative effort between the Ministry of Rummy and the Ministry of TIAT. The project was realized as a safe procedure for tourists to aboard the tour buses and to disembark from the tour buses at the head and the beginning of the tours. The Lebe will alleviate the traffic congestion by avoiding roadblocks and allow enhanced management of the tour buses by their representing agencies. The Lebe is solely intended for use by tour buses and prohibits parking and or standing of any other vehicular activities. In June 2020, In June of this year, the project commenced, although it has been delayed, awaiting the necessary signage. However, I am proud to announce that the completion, and I look forward to a collaborative effort that is in the best interest of the country, and I hope it flows well. Lastly, I would like to announce the start of the phase of the 2020 road paving, patching, maintenance project, and make the necessary improvements to our road network. The main objective of this project is focused on repairing the badly damaged sections of the road and beyond patchworks and repairs. Also continue to do the typical patchworks on the road where this is possible and feasible in the various districts. The main goal is for our roads to be safe as possible for our residents and to improve the longevity and the durability of our road network. Better road surfacing benefits us all as a community and will also make it easier and safer for our convenience while traveling on an open road. Therefore, the Department of Infrastructure Management has specifically identified the critical areas which will be fixed as soon as possible. The first phase of the works are to start today, December 16th at 9 p.m. this evening, until tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. and continues Thursday through Friday. The works of we will be starting off with the Nazareth Road, the Arch Road, LB Scott Road, Welfare Road, and Union Road. I advise motorists to please exercise caution for the safety of the workers and on their sites. I thank the community for their continued patience and I apologize for any inconvenience that this may cause.
The innovative Banco-Matico contactless smart card. Your Banco-Matico smart card is now equipped with a contactless feature for payments, so get ready to tap and go. Contactless payments are fast, easy, secure, and accepted worldwide at all Maestro-enabled contactless terminals. Tap for transactions equivalent to or less than 100 NAF, or the US dollar equivalent. You will receive notifications via email anytime you tap. Tap, tap, and pay fast with WIB. For more information, visit our website at wib-bank.net. Tap and go with your partner in progress.
The St. Martin Lions Club will be acknowledging, recognizing, and giving back to our community by aiding with the empowerment of our people. The club will be making 10 donations to some NGOs and or individuals within our community throughout the year. This evening, in my capacity as president of the St. Martin Lions Club, I am honored and delighted on this our 50th celebration to be able to recognize an NGO that have been working for the betterment of St. Martin since 2002 and a young aspiring entrepreneur in her development. On behalf of the St. Martin Lions Club, we'd like to invite Dr. Jay Haverser, founder and director of CMARC, to accept this financial donation from the St. Martin Lions Club to your organization. We do hope that with this donation will aid you and your team with the continued work that you have been doing for the past 18 years for the betterment of our community.
Thank you. Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks. That's for you? Okay. I want to say thank you to the Lions Club again, because for all these years, we have been working together. And I admire so much what you as an organization have been doing now 50 years. 50 years. Think about it. The law says an archaeological site can be declared if it's over 50 years old. Some of your structures, some of the things that you've created in the early years, at some point might even be considered archaeological of value someday. But what I really want to also say is thank you for the Leo Club, because the Leo Club has been so essential in when we work together with CMARC and the Leo Club. It's that age group. It's that young teenager group. That's the future. And we really have to focus on them to make sure they understand. Now, CMARC has been having some hard times. We were destroyed in Irma, and then we've rebuilt. We're trying to rebuild ourselves back up now. Our student population is kind of small now, but we're trying to build back up, and this will be a big assistance in that direction. There are many projects that we have planned and we have hope for, and just like with the Lions Club, our goal is to make St. Martin a better place, to help the people of St. Martin and to serve the community. Thank you all very much.